Hey guys, welcome to Solving Systems of Equations Algebraically. This is going to be part one. So there's going to be a couple parts to this, and there's two methods we can use to solve systems algebraically. Method one is substitution and elimination, which is going to be our next video. So we're going to talk about substitution here. So there are a couple of issues when solving systems by graphing, and that was our previous video. Number one, they may be too difficult to graph the equations. Let's say you have fractions or decimals, and it's very hard to try to graph that system. You may not be able to graph accurately. Or the solution. Maybe the solution is, let's say, 1/9 or 1/7. That's going to be hard to estimate if you want the exact solution. So we have other methods that we use, and typically we're going to be using algebra. The most popular way is elimination, but we're going to use substitution in this video. So this is a big reason, these two reasons why we don't always use graphing, okay? Because one, it can take a lot of time, it can be difficult, and it may not be as accurate as if we did algebra. Okay, so again, let's look at the system. Let's solve the system 4x plus 3y equals 4. And 2x minus y equals 7. So there are a couple of things here we could do. Standard form, and this appears we could get this in slope-intercept form. So step number one, we want to solve one equation for an unknown. Okay, so you got to pick your equation. So number one here, I'm going to pick this one here, and I'm going to solve for y. So I am going to go ahead and solve this for y because it's going to be much easier to handle. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick my equation, and it's going to be 2x minus y equals 7. So I can subtract 2x from both sides, and I get negative y equals negative 2x plus 7. So by changing the signs, because we have negative y, so multiply through by negative 1, we get the following equation. We have y equals 2x minus 7. Okay? So in step 2, we're going to block that off. Step 2 now, we're going to plug our answer in from step 1 into the non-used equation. So our non-used equation in this case is 4x plus 3y equals 4. So this equation is going to get substituted in for y. So we have 4x plus 3 times our new equation, which is 2x minus 7. And that's all going to be equal to 4. So what we have here now is an equation in one variable. So now we can solve for x. So we're going to go ahead and solve this equation. So we're going to distribute. So you have 4x plus 6x minus 21 equals 4. Combine your like terms. 4x and 6x makes 10x's. Minus 21 equals 4. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that up here. So we have 10x minus 21 equals 4. And now you're going to add 21 to both sides because we're still solving for x. So you get 10x equals 25. So x, by dividing each side by 10, is going to be 5/2, 2.5. So that's step 2. I'm going to go back up here where I have some space, and we're going to work on step 3. Step 3 now is find y. In this case, because I solved for x, we're going to find y. Well, we know what y is. We know that y is equal to 2x minus 7. Okay, so that means y is going to be equal to 2 times our x value minus 7. Well, our x value was 5/2. Okay, so this becomes 5 minus 7, or negative 2. So the solution to the system is 5/2, negative 2. And that might have been hard to see on the graph. 5/2 might not be so hard because it's halfway between, but that's the solution to the system, and there's 3 steps. So if we review this really quickly, step 1, you pick an equation to solve for, and you're solving for one of the variables. You're going to pick the easy equation. This is the easiest one. Solving for y here would be more challenging. And then you plug that answer into the unused equation and solve for your only variable that's left. Once you do that, you plug your answer into the answer you got in step 1. So let's look at some more examples. Okay, so let's solve the system here. We'll move these out of the way. Let's move these down so we can go in an order, logical order here. Okay, so again, so I pick an equation. So step number 1, I got to pick an equation to solve for one of the variables. That looks really easy. So I picked x plus y equals -12. Okay, so solving for y by subtracting x from both sides. So you have y equals -x minus 12. Okay, so in step 2 now, I'm going to plug what I get from step 1 into the unused equation. Well, my unused equation was 2x. So 2x minus 3y is the unused equation, and that equals 6. So now I solve for y in this case, so I leave 2x alone minus 3 times what I solved in the first part here. So my answer from step 1 is going right in here. So I get -x minus 12. So now I have to solve for the only variable I have left. This equation is in terms of x now, one variable. So now I have 2x plus 3x when I distribute plus 36 equals 6. So by combining like terms, so you can see the like terms are 2x and 5x. Go ahead and combine those and you get, 2x and 3x, that makes 5x plus 36 equals 6. So you subtract 36 from both sides, minus 36. So 5x equals -30. So x equals -6. Now, in step 3, you take your answer from step 2 and plug it into step 1. That's the idea, and I might have been confusing earlier. You plug in your answer from step 2 into step 1. So step 1 was this. So we want to know y. So you have y equals our negative x value, which is -6 minus 12. Okay, so that gives us 6 minus 12, which is -6. So our solution is -6, -6. All right, now we're going to solve the system 3x minus y equals 0 and 4x plus 3y equals 26. So step 1, you pick your equation. Which equation is the easiest to solve for? And hopefully you're saying the top equation. Now all of these I've solved for y, okay? But that doesn't mean you can't solve for x. But right now y is the easiest one to solve for. So 3x minus y equals 0. Well, that just means y equals 3x. Okay, so now we can start on step 2. Step 2 is the equation we didn't use. So the equation we did not use in that system is 4x plus 3y equals 26. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. We're going to now plug in what we know for y. 4x plus 3 times our new y value is what we found in above. That's just 3x. So there's your equation in one variable, and now we solve for x in this case. So we have 4x plus 9x equals 26. So we have 13x equals 26. So, so x equals 2. Okay, there's our little x equals 2. Remember, step 3 now, guys, is to take what we found in step 2 and plug it into step 1. So I go back up here and I say, well, this is what I got for step 1. So in step 3, I have to plug what I got in step 2. So y is going to be equal to 3 times what I got in step 2, which is 2. Okay, so y equals 6. So our solution here is 2 comma 6. Now again, all these are, you could graph and say, well, you know, Mr. Bennett, these are real easy points that we got. But we're just demonstrating solving algebraically. So remember, pick your equation. That's step 1. Pick the easiest equation and solve for a variable, either x or y. Step 2, plug what you got into step 1 into step 2 and solve for the variable that's left. Step 3, plug your answer from step 2 into step 1. Now, in this example, a health club's membership fees are listed to the left. The cost of the membership includes a monthly charge and a one-time initiation fee. Find the monthly charge and the fee. Okay, so we know that in 2, we're going to have 2 times the monthly charge. Okay, plus the initiation fee, so we're just going to go IF, initiation fee, and that's going to be equal to what they charge. The health club charges $100 for 2 months. All right, $100, and that whole thing together is $100. So 6 months, you get the monthly charge for a 6-month membership, the monthly charge, plus the initiation fee is going to be equal to $200. So now they want us to find both the monthly charge and the initiation fee. So we got to write a system. So we're going to let M equal the monthly charge. So M equals monthly charge. We'll call that MC. And we're going to say F equals the initiation fee. Okay? So let's continue on. And so we're going to write a system here. So our system is going to be 2M plus the initiation fee is equal to 100. And then 6M plus F equals 200. So now we have to pick one of the equations to solve for. We need to solve both M and F, so I have to pick one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve this equation for F. So if we have 2M plus F equals 100, that means F is going to be equal to negative 2M plus 100. So that's step 1. Step 2, we used our unused equation, which was 6M plus F equals 200. And we substitute what we know. So we know that 6M plus our F is 200. Our F was negative 2M plus 100. Okay, so now we have to multiply and simplify that out. So this becomes 6M minus 2M plus 100 equals 200. So 4M plus 100 equals 200. So solving for M, we keep on going. We'll drop our page down a little. So you have now 4M equals 100. So M equals 25. Okay? So our monthly charge is $25. Now, we know that F is equal to negative 2M plus 100. That's our first equation we solve for, right here. So that's going to mean that we take that 25 and plug it in for M. Whoops, 25. So that ends up being 50. So our M is equal to 25. That's our monthly charge. And our initiation fee, F, is equal to 50. So that's solving systems algebraically using substitution. If you guys have any questions or comments, type them below, or you can email me and we'll see you next time.